Hi everyone, Chris Natsky here with Superfoot Systems, and welcome to Superfoot Stories, the stories and the life and times of Bill Superfoot Wallace. How are you, sir?
I am absolutely fantastic. I had an itch. So
You had an itch. That's okay. That's all right. So last time we were together, you were talking about this 1974 World Championships, how you got there. You won the World Championship, had a great moment with your dad when you showed him that you were world champion. But one of the things you talked about was how you realized that the karate techniques, if you will, particularly when you had the foam pads on, just didn't do the trick. So you knew that you needed to do something more, particularly in terms of boxing. So tell us a little bit how you got involved in boxing.
Most of you know if you're a Japanese system, even if you're a Korean system or a Chinese system, we punch with these two knuckles, right? And if we chop, we use these two, this side of the arm, the inside of the hand, the chop aspect. If we use a ridge hand, we use this part of the hand, right? But understand, if we put a glove on, all of those are protected now by foam rubber. There is no penetration. It bounces off. So we had to change the way we threw the technique. We found out the best way to do this is boxing techniques because they wear gloves, padded hands to start with. So I said, I don't know anybody by the box. So I talked to some people. The best guy, the best boxer in Memphis, Tennessee is a guy named Joey Hadley. You don't know this. In 1972, Joey Hadley fought a guy named Marvin Johnson for the light heavyweight division for the national championship. Joey Hadley lost by 1 point to Marvin Johnson. Marvin Johnson couldn't go to the Olympics because he had a broken jaw and 2 broken eardrums. Joey Hadley hit that hard. But anyway, so Joey said, okay, we're going to work. So we said, I want to spar with you, see how you move. So we spar, I fight with Superfoot, right? We're moving all over, and he can't hit me. And he says, okay, Bill, to help you out, sure. He says, you're going to have to put your hands up because otherwise you're too vulnerable. In other words, you haven't hit me yet. Why should I do that? Well, we're going to box. So I go, okay, I'll play the game. So I put my hands up like this. He puts his hands like, first thing he does, he goes, bam, and clocks me. I go down on my knees and I go, okay, what are all those Guamanians floating all over the place? But anyway, drilled me. So I get up and I'm still stunned. And there's 3 of them out there. So I'll just aim for the one in the middle. And he covers up, and I'm pounded to my heart's content because I don't know what I'm doing or whatever, because I'm stunned. We stop, and I said, wow. He said, what are you doing? I said, why'd you do that? He says, well, because your hands are here, and if I pull it down, you're open. I said, maybe that's why I fight this way. And I never lifted it again. And we had trouble, but we had some pounding days. Joey was absolutely superb teacher and a great fighter. And he learned from Gus D'Amato, who taught Mike Tyson, who taught Floyd Patterson. But anyway, we had some wars. And more than anything else, that probably made me tough. Right. Because number one, I learned that you're not going to knock me out. I've been hit by the best. I learned I can hit you back. I had a good jab and I had a good left hook. And I'm sideways, so you don't see anything to hit. So we instituted the jab and the hook with the Superfoot aspect. We're still sideways. Using just those 2 techniques, along with my kicking techniques, I fought Tommy Hearns. I fought Virgil Hill. These are all boxing world champions because I could kick, I could still be sideways and work those 2 techniques. I tell people when I do seminars, I learned to box for 2 reasons. The first reason was to keep you away from me so I could kick you. The second reason was to keep you away from me so I could kick you. The jab keeps you away so I can kick. If you get inside the leg, the hook is my safety shot to at least make you back up so you're within my kicking range. And it worked perfectly for me. What I want my students to do, my people to do, is understand that movement. Take that movement and make some of it work for them. But with the boxing aspect of it, it worked absolutely perfect. After Joey and I got finished working out, I went to the men's boxing gym at Memphis AAU and worked with a gentleman named Bevo Covington, Beverly, but short for Bevo. And he traveled all over the United States and Canada with me as my trainer. And the great thing about it is, you know how we're given choices.
Right.
Half the time, like with Joe, when Joe learned to box, they turned him into a boxer,
Right.
which took away his sidekick, which took away the fast back fist or the jab for that matter, took away his number one, number two weapons. I told Bevo, I said, Bevo, I want to learn how to box, but I need to protect that knee and I need to be sideways. He said, no problem. We'll work the jab, we'll work the hook, and you'll be fine.
Wow.
And I went, yes.
Wow.
And from 1977 to 1980, when I retired, he was my trainer.
Wow. So you're real fortunate to have someone that would, listen to you in that regard, didn't want to make you do something that wasn't natural.
Exactly. Again, we're given choices.
Yeah.
I could have not gone to see him.
Right.
I could have not listened to him.
Yeah.
He could have said, no, I'm going to turn you into a boxer.
Right.
I did an exhibition. I fought a boxing match in Memphis. I fought him from a karate stance. Knocked the guy out in the second round. So, but I still was a martial artist. I wore long pants, wore gi pants.
Did you?
With shoes, of course, but I wore gi pants.
Yeah.
And people go, you look like a karate guy. Yes, I do. I don't look like a boxer.
Right.
So that's what I wanted to do also. And I wanted it to work. So we can make it work.
Yeah.
Understand the whys, the wherefores, the how comes, and the what ifs.
Yeah.
And make it effective. Not just for me, but for all my people.
Right. Beautiful stories. Well, and the other thing too is just want to acknowledge you because you were able to adapt, right? And you were able to be a student again, right?
Yes.
So that's what's so important as well, being the top of your game in one field, but knowing you need to get better. You were okay to be a student and really go for it. So that's a neat thing too.
You have to understand it. You don't know everything.
Yeah.
And what I did know was kicking.
Uh-huh.
So Bevo tells me, he says, I'm not going to mess with your kicking at all, Bill. You do whatever you want to do. But I'll get that front hand working great for you. Yeah. And it did. Yeah. And also, when I would train at Bevo at the gym, I would go into the gym, do 3 rounds shadow boxing just to loosen up the arms, loosen up the upper part. I do 3 rounds on the bag. I rest, jump rope, do all the other stuff. Then I go into the boxing ring and do 7 rounds of kicking, just kicking. That's what I have you guys do, just kicking, averaging between 135 and 150 kicks per round. Why? I can throw a couple jabs, I'm not tired at all. But if I throw 5 or 6 kicks, as you know, that leg gets heavy. People don't realize it. This thing right here weighs 1/3 of my total weight. 1/3. I weigh 165 pounds, so this thing weighs 60 or 55 pounds. Take a 55-pound dumbbell and do this with it. It'll get right about there. How do you get higher? You use your momentum to lift it, your inertia. So that's what we learn to do with the stepping aspect of it. How we change, modify, and make it work for us. And that's the beauty of it too. I can't just step up and nail you, but I have to use deception, skill, speed, movement. I don't throw anything hard. Even the jab I don't throw hard. The hook I don't throw hard. I throw it snappy. I make that thing pop. Not bend, but pop. So you don't even see it. You just go, ugh, which is a great sound.
And it's a great feeling, right? Great feeling. That's awesome. So was that your regular training routine? I mean, did you do that?
When to lose the first time I went there, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Then I started getting better. Started running at night.
Okay.
Because of the leg endurance. Mm-hmm. Towards the end, I would do 8 rounds on the bag, 4 rounds shadow box, 4 rounds jumping rope, rest a couple minutes. Then I'd go into the ring and do those still 7 3-minute rounds, just kicking. Then I would spar.
Wow.
And I would spar. Again, I apologize for you calling me brash and a braggart or whatever, but I figured nobody's going to beat me kicking.
Yeah.
Because I've just seen everything and I know how to do it. So I know where they're coming from, how they're coming, all this stuff. Yeah. So I figured if I do get beat, it's got to be from punching. So I would spar with boxers, 4 or 5 boxers, one right after another.
Wow. 5 days a week?
Yeah, 5 days a week. Wow. I treated it like a job.
Wow.
On the weekends I was going to do seminars. But anyway, there was a boxer named Walter Ivory. greased lightning. I think he sparred. He fought Sugar Ray Leonard in an amateur fight and lost by like 1 point.
Mm-hmm.
But we had some drag outers. Yeah. We go 5 or 6 rounds together. Bah, 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 bah. And it amazed me good because at the end he go, wow, and I go, that mean I'm doing good?
That's awesome. Great stories, sir. Awesome, awesome. Well, hey everyone, another round of great stories with Bill Wallace, talking about his career, talking about how he incorporated and started learning boxing, and it took him to even greater heights as a world champion. So continue to watch these each and every month. There's our Superfoot stories, and this has been Chris Natsky, and look forward to having you join us next time on Superfoot Stories.